Hello everyone, welcome to Testpert MBA Prep. In this session, we shall start with Indian economy, and the topic that we are going to discuss is very important, which is the RBI and the monetary policies of RBI. So let me quickly start this session now. So if we talk about RBI, we all know that this is the central bank of our country. This is the apex bank or the central bank of our country. And when was RBI established? It was established in the year 1935 on April 1st in accordance with the RBI Act of 1934. Alright, and it was also established on the recommendation of the Hilton-Young Committee. Okay, Hilton-Young Committee, and the chairman of the Hilton-Young Committee was Sir Edward Hilton Young. Okay, Sir Edward Hilton Young. Alright, and this Hilton Young Committee is also known as the Royal Commission. Okay, is also known as the Royal Commission. Okay, and when RBI was established, the headquarters of RBI was at Calcutta. Okay, the headquarters of RBI was at Calcutta, but in 1937 it was shifted to Bombay. Okay, at first it was at Calcutta, but later it was shifted to Bombay. And RBI was nationalized in the year 1949. Okay, to be precise, it was nationalized in the year 1949 on 1st January. Okay, 1st January of 1949. Now let me ask you a question. Who was the Viceroy of India at the time of establishment of RBI? We all know that RBI was established in the year 1935. Who was the Viceroy of India at the time of establishment of RBI? So RBI was established in the year 1935. Okay, 1935. Who was the Viceroy at this time? He is Lord Wellington. Okay. His Lord Wellington, and we all know that RBI is the apex bank of India. But before RBI, okay, before establishment of RBI, which bank was regarded or considered as the apex bank of India? I am sure you must be aware of this. It was the Imperial Bank of India. The Imperial Bank of India. And this Imperial Bank of India used to be the Central Bank of India before RBI, and this Imperial Bank of India was established in the year 1921. Okay, in the year 1921 it was established, and the head office of this Imperial Bank was also in Bombay. Okay, it was also in Bombay. Now, if we talk about the nationalization of RBI, okay, we know RBI is a financial institution, and it was nationalized on 1st January 1949. But here you must note that in India there are two financial institutions who are nationalized completely. What is meant by nationalization? 100% of the shares are owned by the central government, right? That is meant by nationalization. So RBI's shares, 100% of the shares of RBI are owned by the central government. So my question to you is, there are two financial institutions in our country. So these are the only two financial institutions of our country where 100% of the shares are owned by central government. One is RBI, and can you name the other one? The other financial institution? It's not LIC, it's not ONGC, because ONGC comes under the oil and natural gas, and LIC comes under the insurance sector, right? So it is NABARD. Okay, it is NABARD. So RBI and NABARD, these two are the only financial institutions where the central government has 100% shares, right? It owns 100% shares. Now let us look into some of the important facts that you must remember as far as your examination is concerned. Now, if we look into the appointment of the governor of RBI, right? RBI governor is generally appointed by the central government, right? So the Reserve Bank of India, the governor of the Reserve Bank of India, appointed by the Prime Minister's office on the recommendation of the Union Finance Minister, which means indirectly the governor of RBI is appointed by the central government. All right. And what is the tenure of the governor of RBI? RBI governor's tenure is 3 years in general, but it can be extended further. Okay, it can be extended further, and that is in the hands of the Ministry of Finance. Okay, it can be extended further. And if we talk about the first RBI governor, okay, he is Osborne Smith. He was the first RBI governor. He belongs to England. And the first Indian RBI governor was C.D. Deshmukh. Okay, the first Indian RBI governor was C.D. Deshmukh, and the first RBI governor was Osborne Smith. Okay, he was the governor. His tenure was from 1935 to 1937. So he served as the governor for 2 years. And C.D. Deshmukh was the first Indian RBI governor, and later he became the finance minister of India. Okay, finance minister of India. Later he later he became the finance minister of India. And who was the longest serving RBI governor? He was Benegil Ramarao. He was the longest serving governor of RBI because he served for 6 years. Okay, he served for 6 years. And who was the shortest serving RBI governor? He was Amitav Ghosh. He served for only 20 days. Okay, he served for only 20 days. And after examining all these facts, we can say that till now, by the way, who is the present RBI governor? Yes, you all know that he is Shaktikant Das, and he is our 25th RBI governor. Okay, he is 25th RBI governor. He is Shaktikant Das. Okay, and he was former IAS officer. So yeah, and here you must note that till now we don't have any female RBI governor. Okay, any female RBI governor till now we don't have. And let us discuss about some important officers of RBI, the structure of the important officers of RBI. So RBI consists of the official directors, where one is the governor, okay, and four. So the official directors of RBI are 5, where one is the governor and 4 are the deputy governors. We discussed about the governors in the previous slide, but if we talk about the first deputy governor of RBI, okay, first deputy governor of RBI, he was Sir James Taylor. And if we talk about first Indian deputy governor of RBI, he was Sir Sikandar Hayat Khan. Okay, first Indian deputy governor was Sir Sikandar Hayat Khan. Alright, so in the examination you may be given, right, how many deputy governors are there in RBI, then your answer must be 4. How many official directors are there in RBI, then your answer must be 5, where because one governor and along with the 4 deputy governors. Now let's talk about the central board of directors of RBI. See, this central board is also known as the brain of RBI. And what is the reason? Because all the important decisions of RBI is taken by the central board of directors. And how many members are there in this central board? There are 21 members, and this 21 is classified into 5 and 16. 5 are the directors of RBI, official directors of RBI, where one is the governor and 4 are the deputy governors. Okay, so these 5 are the official directors of RBI, and these 16 are the unofficial directors. Okay, these 16 are the non-official directors of RBI, and this 16 is again classified into let me write it here. Out of this 16, 10 members are directly nominated by the government of India. Okay, 10 members are nominated by government of India, and four members are chosen from the local boards of RBI. I will discuss with you the meaning of local boards of RBI. Local boards of RBI, and the remaining 2 members, okay, these 2 members are nominated by the Ministry of Finance. Okay, Ministry of Finance. So 10 plus 4 plus 2 sum up to 16, and these 5 are the official and these 16 are the non-official directors, and all these directors, that means all these 21 directors come under the Central Board of Directors, which is also known as the brain of RBI. And if we talk about this 4, right, this 4, the local board of RBI, these 4 local boards are in 4 cities. Okay, these local boards are in 4 cities. These are in Delhi, Kolkata, one more board is in Mumbai, and the 4th one is in Chennai. Okay, so from these four boards, 4 directors are chosen. Let's move on to the next slide. Let us discuss about the subsidiaries of RBI. So what is meant by subsidiary? First of all, the meaning of subsidiary. Generally, if we consider anything as subsidiary, okay, so the organization, or if we consider any company to be a subsidiary of another company, that means those organizations work under a parent organization, right? So these are the organizations, or these are the companies that work under the parent organization, and the parent organization has the complete control, complete authority over these subsidiaries. Okay, so RBI is the parent organization, and there are some subsidiary organizations or subsidiary companies under RBI. There are 4 subsidiary companies under RBI. Okay, if you talk about the 4 subsidiary organizations of RBI, the first one is DICGC, the second one is BRB NMPL, and the third one is RBIT, and the 4th one is IFTAS. Okay, the first one, let us talk about the first one, DICGC. What is the full form of DICGC? It is the Deposit Insurance and Credit Guarantee Corporation of India. So for the examination, you have to remember the full form, okay, the abbreviation of the subsidiary organizations of RBI, and just it is also good to remember the headquarters of the subsidiary organization as well as the meaning of it, okay, the function, the role of that subsidiary. If we talk about the DICGC, the name itself says that Deposit Insurance and Credit Guarantee Corporation. See, this subsidiary insures the money which is up to 5 lakh rupees. Okay, it insures the money up to 5 lakh rupees if any bank becomes bankrupt. Generally, we deposit money in the bank, right? We deposit money in the bank, and what happens if the bank becomes bankrupt? If the bank is bankrupt, then all the people who deposited the money, they will lose the money. So instead of losing completely, okay, that money that is deposited in the bank is insured. That is insured by DICGC, which is a subsidiary of RBI. Hope it is clear. And the insurance that you get is, the maximum insurance that you can get is 5 lakh rupees. Okay. And what are the banks that come under DICGC? All the commercial banks. Okay, all the commercial banks, including all the branches of the foreign banks which are in India, and local area banks, the regional rural banks. So all these banks come under DICGC. Okay, and the headquarters of DICGC is in Mumbai. It was established in the year 1978 on 15th July. Hope you understood this. And the second subsidiary of RBI is the Bharatiya Reserve Bank Note Mudra Private Limited, which was established on 3rd February in the year 1995. But what is the main function of this subsidiary? This subsidiary manages the currency note printing press. Okay, this so currency notes are generally printed in the currency note printing press, right? In India, we have 4 currency note printing press. Okay, currency note printing press. We have 4 currency note printing press. The first printing press is in Mysore, okay, which is in Karnataka, and the second one is in Salboni, which is in West Bengal, and the third printing press, currency note printing press, is in Devas. Devas is in MP, Madhya Pradesh, and the fourth one is in Nashik, which is in Maharashtra. All right. So these are the 4 currency note printing press. These are the 4 locations, and the currency note printing press, which is in Mysore and Salboni, these 2 are owned by this BRB and NMPL. Okay, BRB and NMPL. These 2 are owned by the subsidiary of RBI. And the currency note printing press, which are in Devas and in Nashik, these are owned by the government of India. Okay, these 2 are owned by this BRB and NMPL, and these 2 are owned by the government of India. So in the currency note printing press, only the notes are printed. The coins are not minted, only the notes are printed. Okay, if we talk about the coins, we have separately the minting press. Okay, we have separately the minting press, 4 minting press in our country. Okay, let me write it here for better understanding. Let me erase this first. So yeah, so if you talk about the currency notes are printed only in currency note printing press. But if we talk about the coins, right, if we talk about coins, we have separately minting press in 4 locations of our country. Okay, where are these? North, south, and east, west. Okay, so in the north we have Noida. In Noida there is a minting press, and in the east we have Kolkata, and there is one more minting press in Kolkata, and in south we have Hyderabad. There is a minting press in Hyderabad, and in west we have Mumbai. There is a minting press in Mumbai. Now I already discussed with you the 4 currency note printing press. Out of the 4 currency note printing press, 2 are owned by the government of India and 2 are owned by the BRBNMPL. Okay, but if we talk about the minting press, all these 4 minting press are owned by government of India. Okay, these 4 are completely owned by government of India, and RBI has nothing to do with it. Okay, these 4 are completely owned by the government of India. Please make a note of it. So the currency note printing press only prints the currency notes, and the minting press only prints the coins. So this is the second subsidiary of RBI. And if we talk about REBIT, okay, this is the third subsidiary of RBI, which is the Reserve Bank Information Technology Private Limited. Okay, you must remember this, the Reserve Bank Information Technology IT Private Limited, all right, which was established in the year 2016. What is the function? It manages the IT projects of RBI and also safeguards the RBI's assets by responding to the cyber threats, which means we can say that it is this subsidiary is the cyber security cell of RBI. So this is the cyber security cell of RBI, and the headquarters, I think it is not mentioned here. Okay, the headquarters is in Mumbai. Okay, the headquarters of the subsidiary is also in Mumbai. And if we talk about the last subsidiary of RBI, which is IFTAS, which is the Indian Financial Technology and Elite Services. Okay, the headquarters is also in Mumbai. The headquarters of IFTAS is also in Mumbai. So this aims at designing and supporting the IT related services to the RBI, which means we can clearly say that this is the IT cell of RBI. The third one is this cyber security cell, and this IFTAS is the IT cell of RBI. So as far as the examinations are concerned, the important things that you have to remember are the abbreviations of the subsidiaries, as well as the you can easily remember the head office of this, which is Mumbai, and just you have to remember the function of each and every subsidiary. Okay, we have only 4 subsidiaries of RBI, so it's easy to remember. Let's talk about the features of RBI. Okay, let us talk about the features of RBI. The first feature of RBI is Bankers Bank. But now, why is it why is this a feature of RBI? And what is the meaning of Bankers Bank? Why RBI is known as Bankers Bank? This is because, see, RBI regulates the whole banking system, right? It regulates the whole banking system. Whenever the commercial banks need any financial support, okay, whenever the commercial banks like the SBI, the PNB, okay, when these banks need financial support, they just approach RBI. So RBI gives loans to the commercial banks. That is the reason why it is known as the Bankers Bank. Okay, and the second feature of RBI is the banker to Government of India and the state governments. I will talk about the exception here, exceptional cases. It is the banker to Government of India and state governments. So whenever the Government of India and state governments need loan, they directly approach RBI. So RBI acts as a banker to Government of India and the state governments, all the state governments except 2 states. Okay, except 2. Okay, now these are Jammu and Kashmir and Sikkim. So RBI grants loans to all the states, all the state governments except 2 states. The first one is Jammu and Kashmir and the second one is Sikkim. Why? Because if we talk about Jammu and Kashmir, okay, it has its own bank, right? It has its own bank, which is the Jammu and Kashmir Bank, JNK Bank. I think you must have heard about this bank, and all the funds are raised by this bank itself. Okay, all the funds are raised by this bank. And if we talk about Sikkim has its own bank, which is the State Bank of Sikkim. State Bank of Sikkim, SBS. So this is the reason why RBI doesn't act as a banker to these 2 states. Alright. So except this, it acts as a banker for all the states as well as the Government of India. And the third one is third feature of RBI is issuer. It's an issuer of currency notes. Yeah, in the previous slide we talked about the currency notes printing press, right? 2 are owned by, out of 4, 2 are owned by RBI and 2 are owned by Government of India. So the third feature is issuer of currency notes. And if we talk about notes, okay, there are 2 types of notes here. Let me first change the color. So if I talk about notes, we have 2 types of notes. The first one is the currency note, okay, currency note, and the second one is a bank note. So these are the terms that you must remember, you must know, okay, you must know. These are important for your examination point of view as well as your interview point of view, right? During GDs or during PIs or during even the written ability test VAT. These are extremely important, so you must be aware of these facts, these definitions and the meaning of these. So if we talk about notes, there are two types, currency note and bank note. What a currency note? Currency note means 1 rupee note, okay, 1 rupee notes come under currency note. What about bank notes? Bank notes, all the denominations, okay, right from rupees 2 to rupees 2000, okay, all these denominations come under bank notes. All right, so this is the difference between these two. And currency notes are printed, okay, printed, which means rupees 1, okay, 1 rupee notes are printed by the Ministry of Finance. Very important, these are printed by the Ministry of Finance, which means Government of India. Okay, 1 rupee notes are not printed by RBI, 1 rupee notes are printed by Ministry of Finance. Whereas the if we talk about the bank notes, these bank notes are printed, okay, these are printed by RBI. This is the second difference between these two. And the third important difference between the currency notes and bank notes is, if we observe the sign, on the currency note, on the 1 rupee note, we can see the sign of the finance secretary. The finance secretary. Whereas if we observe the sign on the bank notes, okay, if we observe the sign, we can see the sign of the RBI governor, okay. At the end of the bank notes, you can see the sign of RBI governor. So these are the differences between a currency note and a bank note. The fourth feature is the custodian of forex, the foreign exchange. So what is this? What is meant by custodian? Now let me ask you a few questions. Who gives the guarantee on banknotes? Let me write it here. Who gives guarantee on the bank notes? Try to answer this. Who gives the guarantee on banknotes? Is it the RBI or the RBI governor or the central government? So the central government, okay, the central government gives the guarantee on any banknote. If you consider take any banknote, on the top of it you can observe the guarantee that is given by the central government. Okay, so on the top of it you can see the guaranteed, right? You can see this guaranteed by the central government. Okay, you can say this. And my second question to you is, how many languages can be found on these banknotes? How many languages can be found on banknote or banknotes? See, total we can find 17 languages. However, we can find 15 languages on the language panel. Okay, language panel, on the left side of it, if you turn the note on the back side, on the extreme left you can find a panel. So on this we can find 15 languages, and the rest 2 languages are English and Hindi. Okay, these are English and Hindi are on the note itself, and on the panel we can find 15. So total There are 17 languages on the banknotes. And if we talk about the last feature of the RBI, this is the custodian. RBI is the custodian of the forex. What is meant by custodian? Custodian means someone who keeps the foreign currency. Okay, custodian of forex means someone who reserves or keeps the foreign currency. So RBI is the custodian of foreign currency as far as our country is concerned. Now let me quickly discuss these facts. Features of the paper currencies. So the paper currencies are made up of the cotton paper. Okay, these are the raw material that is required to make to print these currencies is cotton. Okay, and the smallest denomination is ₹1. The present smallest denomination is ₹1, which is printed by the Minister of Finance. Okay, we already discussed about this. This ₹1 is also known as the currency note, and all other denominations right from ₹2 to ₹2000 are known as bank notes, which are printed by the RBI. But ₹1 rupee notes are printed by Government of India, that is Minister of Finance. And the third one is the highest denomination which was ever printed in the history of India, right, is ₹10,000. Okay, this was printed in the year 1938 and it was demonetized in the year 1946, right before the independence. So the highest denomination which was ever printed was ₹10,000. However, the highest denomination which can be printed is 10,000. So RBI has the authority to print up to a 10,000 rupee note. So it has got the authority to print up to a 10,000 rupee note. And the fifth one is the maximum value of a coin that can be minted is ₹1,000. So RBI has got the authority to print a 10,000 rupee note. And also if we consider the coin, the maximum value that the government of India can mint is a 1,000 rupee coin, because all the notes, the authority to print the notes is lies with RBI, whereas the authority to print coins lies with the Government of India. We discussed in the previous slide. So Government of India can mint a coin with a maximum value of 1,000. And the sixth one is the paper currency has 17 languages, we already discussed, and the coin has 2 languages mentioned. Okay, so we discussed the features and everything in detail about RBI. Let's look into the monetary policy of RBI. Generally, the monetary policy is given by RBI, it comes under RBI, whereas the fiscal policy is regulated by the Government of India, whereas the monetary policy is regulated by the RBI. Now, what is this monetary policy? This policy regulates the demand as well as the supply in the economy of India. Okay, the monetary policy regulates the demand as well as the supply in the Indian economy. And this policy is prepared by RBI in the month of the year. It is prepared in the month of April, and this policy is revised for every 2 months. Okay, it is revised for every 2 months. It is modified for every 2 months. Which committee prepares and revises these rates? Which committee prepares and revises the rates of the monetary policy? It is the MPC, which is the Monetary Policy Committee of RBI, prepares the monetary policy as well as revises the rates of the monetary policy. And if we talk about the rates of the monetary policies, what are these rates? These rates are divided into two. The first one is the reserve ratios and the second one is the policy rates. Okay, the first one is reserve ratios and the second one is the policy rates. And if we talk about the reserve ratios, okay, reserve ratios, we have two reserve ratios. The first one is the cash reserve ratio, which is CRR. I will discuss this in detail in the upcoming slides. And the second one is the statutory liquidity ratio, which is the SLR. These two come under reserve ratios. And if we talk about the policy rates, there are basically four policy rates. The first one is the repo rate. And the second one is the reverse repo rate. And the third one is the bank rate. Okay, and the fourth one is the marginal standing facility, which is known as MSF. So let us look into each and every rate of monetary policy in detail. The first one is the cash reserve ratio, which is CRR. So for your examination, it is better to remember the definition as well as the full form of it. Okay, so CRR is known as cash reserve ratio, and what is meant by this? It is the percentage of total deposits that every bank must submit to RBI in the form of cash. Okay, so has got 100 crores. Okay, 100 crores, and the present rate at which each and every bank must submit cash to RBI is 3%. Alright, let's say a bank has 100 crores. These 100 are the deposits. Okay, deposits of that bank. So out of this 100 crores, 3% of this money, of all these deposits, must be submitted to RBI, which means 3 crores must be submitted to RBI, must be kept with RBI. So this is the CRR. CRR is simply means the percentage, the rate at which a bank deposits, the bank submits to RBI. So the percentage at which it submits, that is known as the rate, which is the cash reserve ratio. The second one is the statutory liquidity ratio, which is the SLR. What is meant by SLR? SLR simply means the process under which all the commercial banks are required to maintain a certain percentage of total deposits in the form of liquids, okay, in the form of cash, and needs to keep it with themselves only, not with RBI. It needs to be kept with the banks itself. Alright, CRR must be kept with RBI. Banks must kept with RBI, as whereas if we consider SLR, the percentage, the liquidity must be kept with the banks itself. And the present percentage of SLR is 18%. And this liquids are liquids that are kept with the banks itself are of three forms. The first one is, we know, cash. The second one is gold, and the third one is government securities. Government securities means these bonds also come under government securities. So these liquids consist of three types. The first one is cash. In the form of cash, the bank definitely they can keep, and in the form of gold and in the form of government securities. So CRR is maintained by RBI, whereas SLR is maintained by the individual banks by themselves. Okay, and if we consider the third rate, which is the repo rate. What is meant by repo rate? Repo rate is the rate of interest. Okay, as of now, the rate of interest of repo rate is 4%. So rate of interest at which RBI grants loans to the commercial banks for a short period of time. And what is meant by short period of time? It means for less than 90 days. Okay, RBI generally gives loans, as we already discussed in the previous slide. It is the banker of bankers. Okay, it is banker of bankers, which is one of the features of RBI. So when it provides loans to the other commercial banks, if it gives for less than 90 days, then it is a short-term loan, and the rate at which it gives loans, it grants loans, is known as repo rate. And as of now, the repo rate is 4%. Let's say if a bank needs 100 crores, okay, 100 crores, which means the interest that the bank, so these 100 crores are granted by RBI, okay, RBI, and the interest at which this bank, after taking this 100 crores as a loan, the interest that it must pay to RBI is 4%, which means 4 crores. Okay. And what is meant by reverse repo rate? See, there is a big misconception between the repo rate and reverse repo rate. Reverse repo rate doesn't mean banks giving loan to RBI. It doesn't mean the commercial banks giving loan to RBI. RBI doesn't take any loan. The RBI doesn't need any loan, because RBI itself has got the authority to print banknotes. Okay, so why is there any need? Why is there any need for RBI for any notes? RBI doesn't require any notes. Reverse repo rate means RBI takes loans from, see, RBI is a central bank and it won't take any loan from any other bank. Okay, if there is any deficit of currency, RBI has the authority to print notes. So there is no need to take any loan from any other commercial bank. So what exactly is reverse repo rate? Reverse repo rate simply means the rate at which the commercial banks deposit their excess liquidity to RBI for the short period of time. Okay, it simply means, see, for instance, if we deposit some amount in a commercial bank, right? Let's say we are depositing some amount in SBI. In return, what we get? What will we get? We get the interest. We get some interest, like 5%, 6%, something. This is the case with a common man, but this is a case with an individual. But if we consider the bank, if a bank deposits their excess in RBI, in return it also gets some interest. The bank also receives some interest from RBI. That interest is known as the reverse repo rate, and the present interest at which any bank receives from RBI is 3.35%. Okay, 3.35%. And the fifth one is the bank rate. What is meant by bank rate? See, in the previous slide we discussed about the repo rate, right? So repo rate is the rate of interest which RBI gives. It grants loans to commercial banks for short term, which is less than 90 days. But what if RBI has to give loans in long term? Okay, if it is more than 90 days, if RBI has to grant loan for any commercial bank for more than 90 days, which means long term, that is known as bank rate. So bank rate simply means the rate of interest at which RBI gives loans to the commercial banks for long period of time. Okay, long period of time. This is known as the bank rate. And how much RBI charges? How much does RBI charge from the banks? It charges 4.25% as of now. So the bank rate is 4.25%. And why does RBI give a long-term loan for a commercial bank? Why does RBI give a long-term loan for a commercial bank? It simply gives a long-term loan for a commercial bank just to maintain the CRR and the SLR. Okay, just for the purpose of maintaining CRR and SLR, to balance those, to maintain CRR and SLR, RBI grants loans. And the last one is the MSF, which is the marginal standing facility. Okay, what is meant by MSF? MSF generally enables banks to borrow the funds from RBI in case of extreme situations, in case of emergency situations. Okay, when their liquidity absolutely dries up, right? For instance, if a bank has got a shortage of cash at the time, okay, at the time this MSF enables banks to borrow funds from RBI, but the only condition is these banks borrow funds only in the emergency situations. So at the time of emergency, if a bank wants to borrow some loan from RBI, then under the marginal standing facility, RBI grants loans, but for only overnight time. It grants loans for only overnight time, because the only reason why RBI grants loans under MSF, that too for only an overnight time, is just to maintain CRR and SLR of the commercial banks. Okay, if it is long term loan, then it is bank rate. If it's short term loan, that is below 90 days, it is repo rate, and if it is a overnight loan, then it is MSF. Okay, marginal standing facility, and the present rate of MSF is 4.25%. all right, so these are the terms that are related to the rates, okay, as far as the monetary policy of RBI is concerned. Now we shall have a practice session. Try to answer the questions, and you can pause the video and you can attempt the test. The first one is which of the following is the sole body or sole authority sole body authority to issue banknotes in India? Okay, which of the following is the sole body authorized? Which of the following is the sole body authorized to issue the banknotes in India? Yes, the answer is Reserve Bank of India. So, but the only thing is, except the 1 rupee note, okay, except the 1 rupee note which is printed by the Ministry of Finance, each and every other note is printed by the RBI. Okay, each and every other denomination is printed by RBI except the 1 rupee note. So Government of India prints the 1 rupee note, as well as it mints all the coins. It mints all the coins, but RBI prints all the notes right from rupees 2 to rupees 2000 as of now. But the maximum value that RBI can print is rupees 10,000. Okay, it has got the authority to print up to 10,000. All right. So if we look into some more details, the Reserve Bank of India is the sole body authorized to issue the banknotes in India, and the coins and notes are issued on the behalf of the Government of India. Okay, the minimum reserve system is followed by RBI to issue currency. And the second one is, when was RBI established? When was RBI established? It is in the year 1935. Okay. So it was established in the 1935 on 1st April, but in accordance with the RBI Act of 1934. RBI was nationalized in the year. When was it nationalized? When was it nationalized? It was nationalized in 1949. So on 1st Jan 1949. Who appoints RBI governor? We discussed the central government appoints the RBI governor. So the answer is option C. Okay, the question on local board headquarters. Okay, so in which of the following the local board headquarters of RBI is located? So which of the following the local board headquarters of RBI are located? I already discussed there are 4 local boards in 4 different locations. Okay, the first one is Mumbai, the second one is Chennai, the third one is New Delhi, and the fourth one is Kolkata. So the answer is option A. You can just go through the extra info that is mentioned here. Okay. Who was the first Indian governor of RBI? First Indian governor was C.D. Deshmukh. Who was the longest serving governor of RBI? The longest serving governor of RBI was Benegil Ramarao. Okay, Benegil Ramarao, he is the longest serving governor of RBI, and Osborne Smith was the first governor of RBI. So BRB and MPL, okay, the Bharatiya Reserve Bank Note Mudran Private Limited was established in the year 1995. Okay, so the Bharatiya Reserve Bank Note Mudran Private Limited was established in the year 1995, and it is a subsidiary of RBI. And as we all know, the subsidiaries of RBI are 4. There are 4 subsidiaries of RBI, and this is one of the subsidiaries. Okay. The next question: what is the smallest denomination issued by the Government of India now? As of now, the smallest denomination, as we all know, it is rupees 1 rupee. Okay, it is 1 rupee. And how many languages does the paper currency of India have? It has got 17 languages. Okay, 15 in the panel and 2 which are Hindi and English on the note. The next question is: Reserve Bank of India was established on the recommendation of which committee? Which committee? We all know it is Royal Commission, and Royal Commission is also known as the Hilton Young Commission. Okay, Royal Commission is also known as the Hilton Young Commission. And who formulates the monetary policy of India? Who formulates the monetary policy of India? It is the RBI. And when we talk about the fiscal policy of India, it is governed by the central government. Who is the chairman of the Monetary Policy Committee? Who is the chairman of the Monetary Policy Committee? He is the Governor of RBI. So Governor of RBI is the chairman of the Monetary Policy Committee. So I hope you all enjoyed this session and you learned something in this session related to the RBI and its monetary policies. This comes under the Indian economy. And do let us know if you require any other videos as far as the Indian economy is concerned. And do comment the type of sessions that you want, whether if you want the conceptual sessions as well as the practice sessions like this video, or you want only the practice sessions for your examination. Do subscribe it so that you will stay updated, and you can share these videos with your fellow aspirants. Thank you for watching the video, and all the very best. Prepare well. Thank you.